26th, 2026 meeting of the Lewis and Clark County Commission. Please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Take a minute and introduce everybody from staff here, starting on the far right, Roger Baltz, our Chief Administrative Officer, then TJ Murphy and Nico Hash, representing the County Attorney's Office, Commissioner Candace Payne. I'm Tom Rolfe, Chair of the Commission, Andy Hunthausen, Commissioner Emeritus. And Brandy Grandy, who is keeping track of all of our activities today, and will get them recorded for us. There is a sign-up sheet on the other side of the bar. We'd like to have visitors to fill that out and leave information on how we can contact you should we need to do that. And there is also an agenda listed that you can have if you'd like a copy of that. We're going to start out today with consent action items. Mr. Baltz.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. You have 3 to consider today. The first is item 3A, vendor claims report for the week ending February 13, 2026. Staff recommends approval of that item. Item 3B is another set of vendor claims report for the week ending February 27, 2026. Staff recommends approval of that item. And item 3C is resolution 2026-11, declaring county property surplus property. Staff recommends approval of that item as well. Thank you, Commissioners.
Commissioners, are there any questions on those 3 consent action items? Sure. Commissioner Payne.
Roger, I'm looking at the consent action items list 3A, vendor claims report for week ending February 13th, and the vendor claims I'm looking at is dated February 25th. Am I not looking at the right thing, or do we have a misprint on? Is it?
If you recall, on the items from the 14th, there was a miscommunication on it, and so this is the date for the formal action on it, as I recall.
Right. Is that correct?
25th, okay. It would be in our normal cycle of things to do.
Hey, I just want to make sure Marni's got her calendar on right. So
that's right.
Thank you. I should never have questioned. That woman knows what she's doing. So thank you.
All right. Is there any other questions on the consent action items? If not, do we have a motion?
Mr. Chair, I would move that we approve consent action items 3A, B, and C as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right. We have a motion and a second on the 3 consent action items. Is there any public comment? Any public comment? There being none, do we have a motion?
Motion's on.
We do have the motion.
I did a second.
I apologize. I didn't do this everything in the right order.
We got it all.
Now I've got it done. All right. We do have a motion and a second. And any discussion on consent action items 3A, B, and C? None. There being none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor of approving consent action items 3A, B, and C, please say aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. All right, now on to the action items. We have a contract between Lewis and Clark County and Montana Department of Environmental Quality. Mr. Sargeson.
There we go. Mr. Chairman, members of the Commission, thank you for having me today. My name is Fred Sargeson. I'm the Operations Manager at Lewis and Clark Public Health. First up, I have the Lewis and Clark County Public Health, Environmental Health Programs has contracted with the Montana Department of Environmental Quality since the 1990s to complete subdivision reviews. These reviews are conducted on new subdivisions and focus on water supply, wastewater, solid waste, and stormwater systems. Public Health is reimbursed by Department of Environmental Quality based on the fee calculation located in Appendix B of the contract. This contract is in effect upon execution and expires June 30th, 2027. The amount collected varies each year depending on the number of subdivision applications given in any given year.
All right. Are there any questions from the commission? Any questions from the commission? This is kind of a continuation of something we've been doing for a long time, as I recall.
Yes, sir. It's been happening for a while. And just to give you an idea, so it is a variable amount. We budgeted about 20,000 this year. So far, we've collected around 17,000. So it's kind of usually in that range-ish of revenue we collect from DEQ for the work that we do.
Okay. Any other questions from the commission? Is there any public comment on action item 4A? Any public comment? There being none, do we have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve action item 4A, the contract between Lewis and Clark County and the Montana Department of Environmental Quality as presented by Mr. Sargeson.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Any discussion from the commission? There being none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor of approving the contract between Lewis and Clark County and the Montana Department of Environmental Quality, as explained by Fred Sargeson, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. On to action item 4B. Mr. Sargeson.
Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, I am still Fred Sargeson, Operations Manager at Lewis and Clark Public Health. Today I have before you for your consideration a grant application to the Montana Children's Trust Fund for their Strengthening Families Month event mini grant. The grant period begins once signed and runs through May 1st, 2026, and it's for $1,000. The grant is due February 27th. The Montana Children's Trust Fund works by funding effective primary prevention programs in local communities through Montana and enhancing communities' capacity to prevent child abuse and neglect. This is done by promoting family engagement, resilience, and protective factors through inclusive, community-based events during April's Strengthening Families Month. Activities will foster positive parent-child interactions, connect families to local resources, and celebrate the importance of strong family relationships. The prevention team, specifically the Tobacco Health Education Coordinator, would like to apply for $1,000 from the Strengthening Families Month mini grant for our Earth Day celebration on April 19th, 2026, which is in partnership with the Lewis and Clark Library. The event is being planned with the Children and Teen Librarian. The grant is intended for hosting events that encourage families to spend quality time together in a safe, welcoming environment. The Earth Day event will be in Anchor Park and Pioneer Park, as well as in the library. Activities will include trash pickup with an emphasis on cigarette butts, with education about the impact of smoking on human health and environmental health. There will be family activities including seedling pots and soil, so families can take home a plant they have potted. The event will be promoted via posters, social media, and newsletters. Grant funds will be used for plants, pots, and soil, snacks for the event. The library's done a make-your-own trail mix station in the past, which has been well received. Trash pickers and grabbers, which the tobacco program will retain for future events. Staff recommends approval.
Are there any questions from the commission?
I have a question, Fred.
Commissioner Payne.
Thank you. In the first paragraph, it says, the grant period begins once signed and runs through May 1st, 2026 for $1,000. Oh, and the grant is due February 27th. Is that your grant application or?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Payne, exactly. So in order to apply for the grant, the deadline for application is, tomorrow.
Oh,
Sometimes these things happen
okay.
fairly quickly, and when you look at the process, we sometimes run a little tight.
I just couldn't quite understand. I thought if we had added the word application in there.
Oh,
My poor little brain would have just said, oh, yeah. And now that you've told me, I understand. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Commissioner.
I mean, it's interesting to me that one of the activities is picking up cigarette butts. I have to say that as a child, I was the janitor in my father's business and had to clean the ashtrays that were spread around the business. And I am sure that's why I never smoked a cigarette. And maybe that's headed in the same direction. I hope it has the same effect on some people.
Mr. Chairman, I'm hoping you are correct. So I had a similar experience growing up. I never touched them.
Any other questions from the commission? Do we have any public comment? Any public comment? There being none, do we have a motion?
Mr. Chair, excuse me, I move that we approve action item 4B, grant application to the Montana Children's Trust Fund as presented.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second on item action number 4B. Is there any further discussion from the commission? Any discussion from the commission? We'll move to a vote. All those in favor of action item 4B, grant application to the Montana Children's Trust Fund, as explained by Fred Sargeson. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Make sure there's plenty of butts for those kids to. Okay. All right. We've arrived at the end of our regular action items, and we always have a time at the end of our meetings for people to bring up things that are of concern to them, and that are under the jurisdiction of this commission, but not on today's agenda. Do we have any public comment? Is there any public comment? There being none, we're adjourned.